Hello and welcome. You're watching a very special show, Har Ghar Ek Investor with Vishal and Meghana Malkan. And joining me in this special conversation is Vishal Malkan and Meghana Malkan. Very warm welcome to both of you,
Thank
Vishal
you.
and Meghana.
Thank you.
Vishal, to tell you more about both of them, Vishal is a very successful stock market trader in himself and is also a very leading coach, stock market coach and a mentor and a trainer. And Meghana is a motivational expert who was initially into law field but then later on transitioned into stock market. So actually, if we talk about Vishal and Meghana, so we're going to talk about two M's, right? Money and mindset.
Yes.
Money you're going to talk about, and Meghana will tell us if you do not have a mindset, you won't be able to gather or make big money. Right?
Absolutely.
To start this journey and to start this conversation, please tell us the first stage, like how did you got into stock market?
So it's a long journey, but I got introduced to the world of stock market when I was in 8th grade. It was 1993. And I used to go to my dad's office, who was into textile in Mumbai. But everybody was talking about stock market because that is the time when Harshad Mehta scam happened. And that got me intrigued into the world of finance and numbers, more of numbers, because I didn't know much about stocks, but I was very curious about knowing how the numbers work. So as soon as the 10th standard got over, I joined stock market officially, and I was going to stock market for 5 years along with my graduation, which was very next to that college, was KC College in Bombay. So that 5 years was like a graduation where I learned, where I made money. And then when the dot-com bubble happened, I lost all that money. And then I realized that it's not so easy. I need to learn. I started learning fundamentals by doing finance MBA and started reading technical books and whatever courses were available in those days. So that's how I got started in this field. But it took me a long time to figure out that what is the real way to make money in stock market. And those were like 10, 12 years of trial and error period.
Sure.
Finally, 2008 happened when just before the crash, I had made a report on technicals that this market looks dicey and it might crash and it may remain for 1 year. And that exactly happened. I could not believe my own analysis, but that's when I thought that
Are we talking about which year?
2008.
Okay.
2008 crash. Just December 2007, I made a report which says that markets are going to have a big crash and it can, based on all the technicals and all the books I read, all the seminars I attended, and actually happened. And that's when I realized that all this 12 years of hard work paid off. And I took a long time because I didn't have a right coach or a mentor. I read so many books, so many courses. Then I said, I want to teach this away so that people don't take that much time. And that's how when we started our training institute called Malkan's View.
Okay, I would like to explore how do, Meghana brings an edge to the entire training program. But before that, you mentioned and spoke about one very big thing was I got initially a lot of losses. Actually, that's an investment only. That's the fees you pay to learn more. And that's how, could you tell us more about that? What were your biggest learning out of that?
Yes, so the biggest learning, few of the things which I realized the hard way, which it is very common, but still people do it. One, you need to book your loss. You need to know where to cut your finger. Otherwise, you have to cut your hand or you have to cut your head only. So it's always, the only thing in the market which you can do is you can decide your entry and you can decide your stop loss. Nothing else is in your control. What the FIIs do, what the DIs do, what the mutual funds do, what the brokers will do, what the operators will do, or how the markets will perform, we have no control over that. We can control only our losses. And that's the hard lesson I learned. And that's what we teach. And also, the second thing is not to be dependent on anybody, like on tips and calls and views. And there are so many people nowadays, they do that Telegram channels and Instagram channels and all those things. Once you learn it, it's in your control. You incur the loss, you incur the profit. It's your responsibility, your result, your decision. So
Right.
no need to blame anybody and no need to ask anybody. Those are the lessons learned hard way.
So Vishal, when you spoke about, you should know when to cut your losses. That means we're talking about emotions. We're talking about psychological concepts also.
Yes.
Is that what made you, Meghana, also include the motivational aspect of it? Tell us that, how crucial is to have a wealthy or an abundant mindset. What do you coach your students?
So essentially, when we talk about investing your money, trading your money into markets, you are dealing with predominantly money.
Yeah.
And that is what arouses a lot of emotions into human beings. Market is made up of human beings, right? It's socio-behavior. And that is why you see the kind of movements that you do, because it's traded by us human beings. So when it comes to money, the emotions are quite high. And that is why it becomes very essential to learn about money, about how you're thinking about money, what are your beliefs, what are your preconceived notions about money, so that you can you're successful at making money from markets, because that is all about there is to markets. The trading systems are extremely simple. Anybody, even any time can do it. Any age group, any background, anyone can do it. But what differentiates people who can make money versus who do not, or who make random money, is their mindset about money, their mindset about success, their mindset about a lot of things. And that is where the mindset comes in.
So we're talking about that these practices are adopted and they're implemented at your own levels. Do these practices also come in your training programs? Like Vishal, you both have coached more than 40,000 students so far, 75 live events if I'm not wrong, and a lot of virtual programs you guys are doing. So are you talking about these concepts are brought into day-to-day coaching also?
Totally. In fact, that is what makes our coaching unique, because we blend the mindset along with the strategies. And I believe, as our coach Tony Robbins says, success in any field is 80% psychology and only 20% skill set. So of course, we do teach a lot of strategies and systems, but I think the game where it changes is when you start working on your psychology.
So Vishal, yours is 20%, huh? Meghna is 80%.
Yes. But that's what but they come to me, like to learn the strategies, but then they realize that it is not me who is more important, but she is more important. Her sessions, her coaching is more important. And you won't believe that all the things which we teach in our programs, we also teach on YouTube for free. But that still doesn't work, because if you want to really become a professional, you can't go to a scattered education system, which is all about social media and all. You need to have a structured learning, like step by step, right from basics to advanced to implementation, and also having the right mindset.
So when you talk about, because of course there's a lot of free content on YouTube, but I've also referred to some of your videos where you've spoken about one mentor, one key indicator, which is you talk about RSI a lot in your. Is that the structure which you follow in your training programs also?
Yes, absolutely. So this again the lesson which I learned the hard way. When I was learning technicals, I used to say, okay, I want to add this, I want to add this, I want to add this. I thought that more tools and techniques, more money I'll make, but that was not the case. And then I finally learned this lesson. One of my guru, Larry Williams, who's a veteran trader in US, he was in India for a one-day seminar, and I showed him my laptop and said, these are the charts I trade. And he was smiling at me. He told me that you are doing the same mistake I did long back, is to put too many indicators.
Sure.
You choose one and go deep, not broad. So master one indicator. I don't say RSI is the best, but for me it works the best because I went deep, and it's been 15 years. We are celebrating 15 years of Malkan's View. So I've been using that for 15 years, teaching that for 15 years, and that's how you get mastery.
Sure.
And it's a specialized knowledge. Like you have, when you go to college, initially you have the common subjects, but then you have to choose a specialization. So you go to a different classroom or a different field or a different teacher. In the same way, there are thousands of teachers and thousands of systems in technical analysis. You choose one and stick to them. So that's why I use this code called one coach, one approach. And that makes it like you have to follow one way of trading. There can be different ways. People do intraday trading, people do swing trading. Some people are doing positional trading, some people are doing momentum trading, some focus on option writing, some focus on option buying. So there are various ways you can do it. You choose one and just go all into that.
Okay, sure. So Meghna, what do this means? We understand that financial literacy is important for everyone. But then the concept, the theme that you both want to promote is Har Ghar Ek Investor. What do you want to say? Because we're talking about a lot of trading concepts also here. But at the same time, we're talking about every home should have one investor. Har Ghar Ek Investor. What do this means?
This means basically the awareness that your money has the potential to make money for itself. It's like making money while you sleep. So a lot of us predominantly have our investments into gold, into property. These are all old forms of investment, which is nothing bad with that. But if you compare the ratio of people investing in India versus those investing in West, there's a stark difference. It's 50% versus 5%, less than 5%. So it's all about creating awareness that there is a possibility that your money can make money for you. There is a possibility that you can strive towards financial independence. You could have a parallel source of income while you work on your business, your employment, or you take care of your house. But all the while, just that awareness that there is a possibility and you can be part of that opportunity.
No, that possibility is, I think, very well being captured by Indian investors also. We see the number of DMATs which are surging every month.
Yes.
There's a huge surge. If you compare in 1 year only, within 1 year, there has been 26% surge of DMAT accounts.
Absolutely,
Yes.
yeah.
So Indians are aware, but how do you want to define women participation into it? Like, because we still have, the stock market is dominantly very big, very hugely dominated by male investors. But then how do we advocate or how do we encourage more of women investors?
So we do that. So when you say there is already a predominant awareness, the awareness is barred by, the people are scared about taking the risk when it comes to stock market. The first thing that people think about is risk. That is why the theme of Har Ghar Ek Investor is about teaching them the right risk management along with the right trading strategies, teaching them the right mindset along with risk and the strategy. So this is the whole intention. Talking about women, predominantly we have been great, gatekeepers of money, you can say. We've been always good with money. It's just a lack of confidence to play out in something which you call a male-dominated field.
Sure.
It's just that, so my mission, with this whole theme, Har Ghar Ek Investor, especially for women, is to bring out that confidence that you too can do it, especially because I was a person who never belonged here. I was into corporate law, moved into this, and now confidently doing, being financially independent when it comes to raising money from markets. So I would see that with every woman out there, that you have it in you you have the confidence in you to really take care of your finances.
Sure.
At least aapke jo investments hai, the portfolio that you have, you can start taking control of that portfolio. And then whatever money you save, maybe you have these little pockets of money at home or in gold, whatever, a part of that can be brought out and put into stock market.
Welcome back. You're watching a special show, Har Ghar Ek Investor, with Vishal and Meghna. It was very interesting to see, Vishal, that you guys have also tied up with AOL. Please tell us, it's very surprising. On an individual level, we understand that people go for art of living concepts, but how do we incorporate them in training programs?
Yeah, so we know that markets, when it comes to, as she mentioned, that there's a lot of emotions are involved, and to keep the emotions in control, we can't get rid of emotions. We are human beings. We can only manage them, and to keep them in control, the daily practices which we do, which is the pranayam or meditation, affirmation, breathing exercise, which keeps us minds cool and calm, so that we can take the right decision at the right time when the trade comes or the investment comes. And that's why we thought that the best person who can teach meditation is Sri Ravi Shankar ji, Art of Living Foundation. So we tied up, we approached them, and they agreed that every time we do a program, every time we do a 3-day event, we do a 3-day event of theirs also called Happiness Course, where they teach Sudarshan Kriya. And it's one breathing technique which helps you to cool down. It also has a lot of health benefits.
Sure.
But of course, it also helps in keeping your cool and calm for when you take trading decisions. And then also, to the extent, we have taken all the 3 other programs which they do, like the advanced course or the Sahaj Samadhi, which is a unique meditation program, into our 1-year program, so that every student who joins our courses, they also go through this process. So they don't only work on money, they also work on mind, body and soul together.
Sounds very interesting, Vishal. Even I would like to understand it from Meghna also. Not just AOL, you guys have also tied up with Stephen Covey. And 7 Effective Habits, a very popular book. But then, do people implement in daily life? How do you ensure in your training programs?
So it's very strange. It started very interestingly, where we thought that 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, one of the best person development curriculum that you could have. So it made us think, we were anyways doing a lot of his work into our program. We thought, why not have the whole curriculum of 7 habits be part of this program as well? Because the intention for us is to work on 360-degree transformation of someone who comes to learn about money, and just not enable them to make money. So we've been doing this, and it's been working really fine. We've just about started implementing it with students, and they're really taking it well, because the key motivator is, you want to be able to make money, but when you see that your family life is getting better, when you see that your personal health is getting better, they get more motivated to do this stuff. And that I think that's why it's really helping.
So you're saying that once your different quadrants of life are balanced, you are more balanced as a professional, on a personal level, and on an individual level also.
Yes.
Okay, coming back to stock market, which Vishal is primarily, and a lot of communities still think that it's a game of luck and not a game of skills.
Yes.
Right? But we heard that you've recently won a US championship also, and that was major in future and options. What is United States Investing Championship, and what a wonderful return. 80% return was at 1 year, Vishal?
Yes. 2022, 81% return from 1st Jan to 31st December. and United States Investing Championship, and basically done only in derivatives. And also to tell you that there was not a single like an intraday or a short-term trade. It's all while I was traveling, while I was doing a lot of seminars and workshops, and while I was doing my work. So it's not something I want to get this myth out that to become a trader you need to be sitting in front of the screen all day and doing those short-term intraday trading, which I avoid and which I don't encourage, because it's like an instant gratification thing, which makes you that gives you that high, but that's not the real way to make wealth. I would say the real way to make wealth is when you can put your money and let the money work for you in the market, and you do your work. No need to leave everything and do stock market. You can have parallel source of income, like which is what Warren Buffett recommends, that you need to have multiple sources of income.
True.
And he also says that you need to know how to make money while you sleep.
Yes.
Otherwise you'll work till you die. So all those principles are classic principles, and if you apply it in the right way with the right strategy and the right mindset, then it works wonders for us.
So this brings me to another question, Vishal, because you mentioned that it was majorly in derivatives only, future and option, which is assumed to be very risky. Not
Yes.
just assume, it's about SEBI also talking about.
Yes.
There's a study that 88% lose money, only 11% is an average proportion which makes money.
Yes.
So that means you're in your entire training programs, there are some proven strategies. There are some methods, a system which you make your students follow that the success rate is high?
Yes, I would not even say success rate is high. I would say even if you are right 50% of the time, let's say you are doing 10 trades or 10 stocks, 10 investments, and you are right only on 5 and wrong on 5, that means that it's 50%. But if you are right and when you make more money, which means the risk reward ratio has to be right. Means let's say you lose 1 or 10 rupees on one stock and you make 20 or 30 rupees on another stock, and you are wrong 5 times, you lose 50 rupees. But when you make money, you make 150 rupees. So net is profit. And that's what should be the aim of people. Like most people, even some influencers or some people claim that you can have a 90% or a 95% strike rate, which is absolutely not possible. And even if it's possible, it's very rare. So you just aim for an average kind of strike rate, but good risk reward ratio. Always cut your losses short and let the profits run, which is a classic dialogue or classic statement in every book, but it's most difficult to follow. And that's why, again, it comes to the mindset where you need to have that nerves to hold on to your profits, at the same time have the nerves to cut your losses quickly.
Okay. Yes, I was coming to this question only because it's not easy to cut your losses.
Yes.
You need to have a very strong heart, which people say, but actually the core lies in your mind.
Yes.
So how do you, is that a daily practice that you teach in your training programs? How do you go about it?
So that's where the role of meditation comes in. That's why we really encourage them to meditate daily for 20 minutes. So a trader investor would say that, oh, I'm here to make money. What is this meditation and all? But we say because that is so important for centering yourself and for really controlling your mind, especially when you have to deal with these situations of, increase in losses or even increase in profits, so to say. So all of it is part of your mind.
This might look little surprising to some viewers who do not have an understanding about these concepts. But Vishal, can you put this perspective in by sharing any case study or any example where you actually, using your mind power or your meditative state, could take a good decision?
Yeah, so actually, a lot of time it happens that, let's say, especially in profits, okay, you know that now you're bought and it's a good bull market going on in the market. You buy a stock, it goes up, and then you feel like, okay, let me take the profit because I'm making money. But then there is no technical signal to it. It's going up, you should hold on to it ideally, or you should actually buy more because that's what we call positive pyramiding. But your mind says, oh, let me take this money or it will go away.
Sure.
That kind of feeling comes or anxiety comes. And that time, if you are cool and calm, okay, let me think. This profit which I'm making is not even my profit or my money as of now. It's market's money. And even if it goes down slightly, I don't lose money from my pocket. I just hold on to the system, and I want to focus on the process of trading, not on the profit. And that's my favorite quote, which I say, focus on the process, not on the profit. Once the market or the technical signal comes to sell, then only I will sell. Whether then it makes 100 rupees or 300 rupees or it gives me 20 rupees. And that is where it helps when you do meditations and all this, that you are keeping your cool and calm and just focusing on how to implement the process.
Sure. So when we talk about focus on the process and not the profits, Meghna, is there a process in developing a right mindset also? Because money will eventually match your mindset.
Totally.
So is there a process that you tell them how to go about it, or is that the upbringing that they are, or is it possible to change your mindset also?
Yes, absolutely. We take them through the process. It's a well-designed process, and it begins by looking at your preconditioned beliefs of whatever you're believing about, all about money, all about everything. So we start from beliefs, and then we take them through the entire process of how to have more clarity, how to develop goals. All of it goes as a process, because this is actually a process, because we think trading is just like any other business, and business के लिए process at the core of every business, and so is it with trading and investing.
Sure, interesting, Meghna. So, Vishal, there's a lot to talk about, but what is that, one big advice, or I'll say key advices that you would like to give people who are who are new to the financial markets, new to learning about markets?
So I'll give you a couple of advice, which is quick. One is use deferred gratification, not instant gratification. Give yourself time to master this game of business or money and trading, and take that time like any other doctor, engineer, chartered accountant. You take time 2-3 years to learn that and then become a professional like that. Second, don't rely on anybody for your money. Just learn yourself and do it on your own. Third is to cut your losses always, right? That's the only thing you can control. And then most importantly, if you want to have the right stock selection method, which we call the top-down approach, always go from macro, what the world market looks like, then the Indian indices looks like, then the sector, and then go to the microscopic, then you select the right stock. That will solve most of the problems for traders to choose the right stock, which normally is the problem with people.
Very interesting, in fact, Vishal. So first thing which I really liked and can relate, because people want results overnight. They want, aaj main karu and tomorrow I should start gaining.
Yes.
Is that also that, you need to be a little calm and patient in achieving or changing your mindset also, Meghna? Or it can be done very quickly or maybe overnight?
There's nothing like overnight here, because you're dealing with something that's been lying in your subconscious mind from years. So two things that I would like someone who's wanting to start here. First things first is invest in yourself. Self-education is something that can make you a fortune, as Jim Rohn says. So, any self-development course, any self-development book, whatever it is that you think can invest in yourself, that's the best investment you can make, which will reap you a lot of rewards in the future. Second habit, which I think we all should get started, is really, focusing on your reading. That is one thing that really helps, which is part of your self-development. Again, be it even 20 pages a day, be 30 pages a day, be just 20 minutes a day. But it raises your level of knowledge, which raises your philosophy, as Jim Rohn says, and that helps you make a better person. And then you see a lot of opportunities open up for you.
In fact, indeed, it has been a very enriching conversation for me also. It was a pleasure to speak to both of you, and what we could take away from here is that every investor or a trader should not think of overnight results, has to invest in himself or herself, and not just with the skills, even with the mindset. Thank you so much, both of you, for being on the show with us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Priyanka.
And thank you, viewers, for watching this. So the main thing that we want to talk about is Har Ghar Ek Investor means you have to not just invest with the money, also invest within yourself. Thank you so much for watching this special conversation.